Proceed. Before, Honorable Mr. Justice Sumitra Sakya, Honorable Mr. Justice Kaushik Goswami, reference on the sudden dismiss of Mrs. Lucy Nitze, Senior Government Advocate, Gauhati High Court, Kohima Bench. Order of reference. Ms. Case reference 1K 2024. Reference by number 1, Mr. C.D. Chamir, President High Court Bar Association. Number 2, Additional Advocate General Nagaland. Reply by Honorable Mr. Justice Sumitra Sakya.
Honorable Mr. Justice Sumitra Sakya, Honorable Justice Kaushik Goswami, Learned Additional Advocate General, officers and staff of the registry, and the learned members of the bar. Today, we are assembled here to mourn the sudden demise of Mrs. Lucense, who was working as the Senior Common Advocate Nagaland. Mrs. Losi, she was born on the 25th of December, 1960. That is the date Mrs. Lucy is sharing the birthday with the birth of Jesus Christ. On a very auspicious occasion, she was born. And she did matriculation in 1977 from Common High School, Seminu. And thereafter, she passed BA, Bachelor of Arts, in 1982 from Patkai Christian College, and becoming the first matriculate from their village, that is Seminu. And then she passed law in 1987 from Symbiosis Law College, Pune. And thereafter, in 1989, she enrolled in the bar as an advocate. Thereafter, for some time, she was practicing in the labor court also at Kohima for some time. And then in 1996, she joined as a junior cabinet. She was appointed as junior cabinet advocate. I met Mrs. Losi for the first time, sometime in 1997, when I was practicing in Gauhati as junior cabinet advocate. Since we are all belong to the government panel, from time to time, I used to come to Kohima, and then I first meet her there when she was working as a junior cabinet advocate. Thereafter, after about 2 years, I shifted my headquarters from Gauhati to Kohima, and then we were posted together here in the Kohima bench, and in the government panel, we were together as junior cabinet advocate. So after I shifted my headquarters from Gauhati, Lucy and I were met to sit in the same room, so we were sharing the same room. That is how I got a personal interaction with her also, and came into contact with her on so many fronts, not only with common activities, but then even on other social activities, we were sharing our problems together. She hardly speaks. Unlike other advocates, she has very less words, but whatever she speaks with sense, and only the important words she speaks. So after thinking for several minutes, she will utter one word, and that compels us to accept that. So she doesn't speak much, but then whatever she speaks with substance. Even in court also, she was not, her submission was very brief, but whatever she conveys to the court, normally that is being accepted. And then that's why sometimes I used to refer and term her as sleeping chain. Very quiet, but then whatever she speak, convey to the court, it used to be accepted. And I believe she was one of the bravest advocate in the common panel. Normally, while we are confronting the courts, we normally used to have tension. We worried, but I have never noticed in Losi about that worriness. She was very brave. There was no tension at all in case of Losi, unlike other advocates while confronting the courts. As a person, she was very honest, very mild, and she had a very wonderful prophetic mind. During election, every year, 5 years, we used to face election. So we used to share our forecast. So and so will get elected, so and so will not be defeated, and all this. And all this, whatever she says that she will get elected, or she will return, or he will return, definitely that candidate will be elected. So as and when election comes, I used to console her. Yes, who are going to be elected, who are going to be defeated. So whatever she says, that candidate will lose, that candidate will definitely lose. So I was wondering how she could gather such informations when she hardly utter any words, hardly share with others. So that was a quality which I admire her the most. One prophetic mind she had, she possessed. Losi, at the time of her death, on 25th October 2024, she was the oldest practicing women advocates in the bar. So on her death, the bar has lost the most senior-most women member in the bar. When last year she had a stroke, a mild stroke, and thereafter she was hospitalized. When she was in hospital, I called on her also, and then personally shared with her. And she was feeling okay, and she was very happy. And she said, Dali, there is no problem at all, so you need not worry. I'll be okay. And after some time, she was okay. And thereafter, she could not attend the court regularly. So from time to time, sporadically, she used to come and then attend. And then on 25th, at about 10 o'clock, we received a message that she is in the Bethel Hospital. But then at 10:30, the send-up program will be held, and thereafter the dead body will be taken to Seminyu for funeral service on the next day. So few members of the bar went to Seminyu to attend the funeral service of Mrs. Losi. And it so happened that in Seminyu village, there is one school called Don Bosco School. That day, incidentally, they were celebrating Golden Jubilee of the school. So, and her funeral was also fixed on that day. So, in a ceremonious way, her last rites was also conducted. There were full of, so many people turned up, even from Kohima also, for her funeral. And she was born on a Christmas day, on a very auspicious occasion. And even the last day, the funeral service was also conducted in a day when there was Golden Jubilee celebration in the village. So all this shows that what kind of a person Losi was. Because going by our tradition, our forefathers used to say that a person's life is judged how he dies. So I believe Losi's life was acceptable to God because her birth and the death demonstrate what type of a life she was. On her death, the bar has lost a very valuable member, being the oldest women practitioner. It will be very difficult to fill up the vacuum created by her death. Now, unhurted, I would only convey my condolence message to the bereaved family that the departed soul may rest in peace and grant solace to the bereaved families. I, on my personal behalf and on behalf of the High Court Bar Association, convey our condolence message to the bereaved families of Mrs. Lucy. With these words, I conclude.
Honorable Mr. Justice Sumitra Saikya, Honorable Mr. Justice Kaushik Goswami, officials and staff of this registry, my dear learned members of the bar. And these are, as we mourn the demise of our colleague, late Ma'am Lucy Ann Su, I, on behalf of the government panel advocates of the Gauhati High Court, Kohima bench, would like to share our sympathy to late Mrs. Lucy. We are deeply saddened and grieved by the sudden demise of their colleague, late Madam Lucy Ann Yut Senlei, who was serving as senior most government advocate in the Gauhati High Court, Kohima bench, Nagaland. Late Madam Lucy was born on 25th December 1960. She did her matriculation in 1977 from Government High School Seminyu under Nagaland Board of School Education. Pre-university in 1979 from St. Mary's College, Shillong under Nihu. Bachelor of Arts in 1982 from Patkai Christian College under Nihu. She was the first woman matriculate and graduate from Seminyu village, and also first woman law graduate LLP from Ringma tribe. She served as Joint Secretary, Catholic Association of Nagaland, CAN, from 1983 to 87 and 1991 to 2000. Also, she served as General Secretary, Nagaland Catholic Women Association from 2004 to 2006. She obtained her law degree from the Symbiosis Law College and the University of Pune in 1987 and subsequently enrolled as an advocate in the Bar Council of Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh in the year 1989-90. She joined the government panel advocate in 1996 and later on elevated to senior government advocate and served for the last 28 years till her demise on 25th October 2024. She was the mentor for all the present government panel advocates, who was gentle, straightforward, and truthful to all of us. It is on record that there is no stigma or blemish all along her long career of 28 years as a government advocate. In her passing away from our team, we have lost a dependable senior colleague from our midst. May her soul rest in peace.
My esteemed brother on the bench, Justice Kaushik Goswami, Mr. C.T. Jamir, President of the High Court Bar Association, Kohima, learned additional AG, appearing for the state of Nagaland, learned senior advocates, advocates of the Gauhati High Court Bar, the High Court Bar Association, Kohima, learned advocates representing the state of Nagaland and the central government, members of the registry present, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have all gathered here to mourn the sudden demise of late Lucy and Sue. Madam Lucy and Sue was the daughter of late Rusholo and Sue, and was born on 25th of December 1960 in Tiseminu village. She passed her matriculation in 1977 from the Government High School, Tiseminu, under the Nagaland Board of Secondary Education, and completed her pre-university in 1979 from St. Mary's College, Shillong, Nehu. Stop. She graduated from the Patkai Christian College at Nehu in 1982. She has, to her credit, to be the first woman matriculate and graduate from the Tiseminu village. She completed a Bachelor of Laws in 1987 from the Symbiosis Law College, University of Pune. She was also the first law graduate from the Rengma tribe, as I have been informed. She started her law practice in 1989 at Kohima as an advocate, and upon being licensed to practice by the Bar Council of the Northeast, she was appointed as a junior government advocate in the High Court in 1986. Subsequently, she was appointed as additional senior advocate and thereafter became the senior government advocate, Government of Nagaland. She continued to represent the state of Nagaland as a senior government advocate before this court till her untimely demise. She was extremely well-mannered and was a person of amicable disposition and always very courteous to her colleagues at the bar as well as before the court. By dint of her hard work, she commanded great respect in the society as an individual, as well as before this court as an advocate and an officer of this court. Besides being in active practice, she was also associated with various social and other philanthropic activities. She was associated with the Catholic Association of Nagaland and was its joint secretary for 2 terms for the period 1983 to 87 and 1991 to 2000. She also held the post of General Secretary, Nagaland Catholic Women Association for the term 2004 to 2006. She left for her heavenly abode on 25/10/2024 due to illness at the age of 63 years, leaving behind her beloved family members. Her contributions in the legal field will continue to inspire the legal fraternity. She was a mentor to all the young advocates, more particularly those advocates who join the bar and represent the state as law officers of the state. Her death is a great loss, not only to the family members, but also to the legal fraternity. I and my brother on the bench, Justice Goswami, fully associate with the sentiments and the feelings expressed by the members of the bar. I, on my own behalf and on behalf of my esteemed colleague on the bench and the members of the registry, convey heartfelt condolence to the members of the bereaved families and pray to the Almighty to grant eternal peace to the departed soul and also to give sufficient strength and fortitude to the members of the families to bear this irreparable loss. As a mark of respect to the departed soul, I request the learned members of the bar and the bench, as well as the registry, to observe a minute's silence. The work on the judicial side will remain suspended for the rest of the day as a mark of respect to the departed soul. The registry is directed to communicate the proceedings and convey our heartfelt condolences to the members of the bereaved family.